You have a story and your story should be shared. It's such a gift and your story will impact so many people. Like it's a gift. You are the gift that keeps giving. I'm just the vessel that sits there and helps you create this safe space. But a lot of us go around this world thinking that we're not enough, or we don't have a story to tell, or shame and guilt. But no, shame dies when stories are told in safe spaces. And I believe that. And I know that is one of my purposes on this earth. So that's my heart, that's my passion, and I don't think I will ever not stop sharing women's stories.
Oh, that's beautiful. Can I ask you a question about
Yeah.
shame?
Yeah.
Because I do think it's one of the things, one of the largest obstacles for women, whether that be sexually or also not being enough, right? Because that it always goes into worth a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is one of the ways that women can actually rid themselves of being ashamed or believing in themselves to be enough?
It's a process. I had a lot of shame growing up. I never felt enough. I never felt Black enough. I never felt Puerto Rican enough. I never felt enough a lot in my life growing up, even as an athlete. It took me some time to really get to where I am and get rid of shame. I had to use hypnotherapy was a tool that helped me get back to my self-worth. And I had to go back. So hypnotherapy, you kind of go back to old parts of yourself and you revisit that part. And all those stories that you're telling yourself, because we all tell ourselves these stories that don't even belong to us half the time, but we're replaying the story in our head. So I had to go back to a time when I felt like I had no self worth. And it was when I was born, and my grandfather actually didn't accept me because my father was Black.
Mm,
And my grandmother placed me in her hands, and I had to retell that story and say, my grandfather loves me so much. I am worth it.
mm,
My grandmother was a vessel that did that for me, but I had to tell myself that. And that's when everything started to shift for me internally. Going back and relearning and resharing and retelling myself, those stories aren't mine to own. I
mhm,
am worth it. And
mhm.
then going back to every part of my life growing up and kind of just retelling these stories to myself and reshaping them.
Mhm.